In this video, I want to answer one of the most common questions that I receive in clinic, which is, what is the minimum amount of equipment that I should buy to take my running to the next level? If you like our videos and you want to see more from us, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification so we can alert you when we release our next video. Anyway, back to this video. Again, a very common one that we get asked. Now, I don't want to, I'm not someone who likes to make people spend lots of money. In truth, you could spend probably hundreds, thousands of pounds on your marathon training campaign. But I do think there's a few key things that should be purchased in order to allow you to be injury-free and run your best. Firstly, running shoes. Running shoes are probably the most crucial investment us as runners can make. Now, I'm not a running shoe expert, but what I do think it's worth doing is making sure you get a shoe that's applicable to you. I used to, in my early running days, just buy Asics. I knew that Asics were a leading running shoe, so I just bought any pair of Asics. It was only then when I started to become a physio and learn my knowledge around the importance of feet biomechanics, and I got my feet assessed, that I got the right pair of Asics trainers for me. And that could be very different from me to you to anybody. So you get that right pair of shoe and it will really make the difference. So I would recommend getting your feet assessed at a reputable running store with people who know running. And again, we can make some suggestions around that. But get a shoe that works for you. Now, there's lots of leading brands, Asics, Saucony, Brooks, New Balance, to name a few. But the important thing is you're getting the shoe that works for you. Secondly, something that I believe quite strongly in is a heart rate monitor. This is a Garmin watch, a Garmin 235, I think this one is. But heart rate monitors with a chest strap. This one doesn't require a chest strap, but any of the ones that I've used that don't use a chest strap, I don't find to be anywhere near as accurate. But heart rate monitors can be picked up fairly cheaply. Now, why I believe they're so good is that I think they're a really helpful training tool, particularly on your long run. You will be able to work out your heart rate for your correct, what we term your aerobic training zone. So the heart rate that you should be keeping it in. And it's a great visual tool to know that you are keeping the pace and not running too quickly for your long runs, because running too quickly is actually, can be termed junk miles or wasted miles, because you're not getting the benefits that you want from the long run and you're massively increasing your chances of injury. So a heart rate monitor, I believe to be a good purchase. And again, I'll try and provide some information, but I can provide more information to that about heart rate training if you have any specific questions. Another kind of bits of kit are self-massage tools. So a foam roller is a real common, famous one. Very handy piece of kit, can be picked up very cheaply, Amazon or eBay, and these are used to roll through our muscle tissue to break up any knots, adhesions, tightness, and improve the overall flexibility and mobility of the muscles. Again, I'll link to some information on this. And then that brings me on to my favourite bit of kit in some ways for self-massage, and this is a lacrosse ball. Now, a lacrosse ball works really well to getting into sore, tight trigger points, particularly glute and hip muscles, which are very problematic for runners, and down the ITB type areas with the thighs and hamstrings. Again, could be picked up very cheaply for a few pounds on Amazon, and I think that's a really handy investment for any marathon runner, and in truth, any athlete. The other bit of kit that you may have lying around the house is a foam roller. Now, a foam roller, a rolling pin. Sorry, I've mentioned foam roller already. A rolling pin. A rolling pin that you may have in the kitchen. These can also be massage sticks. So again, massage sticks can be picked up cheaply, but you may be able to just get a rolling pin from the kitchen. Now, what you look to do with the rolling pin, and again, I'll link to some information showing how you do this, but is a very handy way of rolling out your quad and thigh tissues. As I mentioned in the video where I talk about common injuries, these can be very problematic for the knees to get tight through those areas. So essentially, it's like a bunched up bit of dough, that muscle tissue, and we're looking to just roll that out. So you just spend a few minutes each day rolling out that tissue, and that will be really hugely beneficial. So these are the important investments that I think you should make, and why you should make them, and how you should use them. And the only other thing I would say is potentially leave a little money aside, and this comes from me as a runner rather than a physio, but I greatly benefit from a sports massage and maintenance thing. Believe strongly that prehab is better than rehab. So if we can stop these things happening, that will dramatically reduce the risk of injury for you.